It's time for the Countdown Wrestling Podcast. All right, we're live for 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is an STSpod.club production. I'm BT, and to the right, am I? No, hell, I don't know. Right over there is my buddy, Mr. Z. How the hell are you, Mr. Z?
I'm good. It's been a very disappointing week.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, but we're going to talk about 2025. And this is our, believe it or not, we started this when we started the podcast. So it makes the 9th annual Top 10 Stories Countdown. You want to put your podcast over real quick? I got the stuff at the top. You can go ahead and do that.
Mark Out, Get Up podcast on YouTube. Obviously, Mrs. Z wrote it on the whiteboard, so everyone knows where to go. Just needed to paint a little red arrow down here. But every Wednesday, I drop a new Rebound podcast talking about everything under the sun, New Japan and Japanese wrestling related. And then twice a month, we do Wrestle Talk with Mrs. Z, where everyone gets to hear her rant. And the last show we did, people loved it, and she's looking forward to the next one.
Man, and we are putting this up on the podcast. So I want to, I guess we just might as well say good morning to everyone. We decided to shoot this up on Friday morning. So good morning to everybody. We had planned to do it a little bit earlier this week, but real life gets into place of podcasting sometimes. I hate that, but that's what happens. I still have a sick wife. She's getting much better, but the wife is sick. So, but she missed a whole week of work, and I'm still unemployed, so it really don't matter, I don't guess. All right, let's get started. Top 10 stories. You sent me 10 stories. I took
real quick. I got a question. Why that opening? Why is the opening music you got, man? That makes me think of Friends. I'm like sitting here.
Well, I want to tell you real quick. So we were using real songs.
Mm-hmm.
For the podcast, and I wasn't doing very much stuff on YouTube. I was just doing it on SoundCloud. We first got started, I would steal songs from maybe TV shows or just whatever I wanted. Started getting reported on SoundCloud. And I think I had a certain person that was doing that, and then so we just decided to do generic music. And when we went to generic, that is as generic as it gets. I went to YouTube and I said, they have an audio library, and I was able to steal some music from there and just put my voice as a countdown and then the countdown clock. But yeah, that's, some people say, well, a lot of people have their own music made now with AI, which is fine. But I have a Rolling It to Memphis. I have a real song there. We have the Shooting the Shiznit song that we play all the time. And that was wrote by, I wrote it, but one of my buddies is singing it. So we try to go with all original music or all royalty free, so we don't get strikes on everything. So yeah,
me too.
I hate it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started. We're going to do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And then we're going to go to a break and come back with halftime. And then we'll do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But the number 10 story, what happened was you gave me 10 stories. I had 10 stories. I looked up 10 stories. We put them all together, and here we go. Number 10, we actually voted him WT what the fuckinators, what we voted him as this year, and that was Vince McMahon. It's apparently Vince McMahon's name never goes away. We had him still remain in a bunch of stories with lawsuits, allegations, media investigations. Really a shadow of people saying, hey, is Vince coming back? Vince. So number 10 story, well, it's Vince. Mr. Z, so I want to ask you, tell me, with all the lawsuits and everything, what was your thoughts on Vince? Not only 2025, but leading up to all this, and then now, do you think he'll ever return?
Who knows at this point? I know people keep saying he's in there, he's poking. Someone said that he's the one that's got his hand up, old Triple H's puppet handles.
Right.
Or he's got a pull with the other guy that's in there. I call him brother.
Khan, yeah. Nick Khan, yeah.
Khan, and then of course Bruce Pritchard, obviously.
A Vince man, yeah. Pritchard was a Vince man. We all know that. He actually was at Vince's birthday party. We covered that on WTF. I was always in awe of Vince. And I guess I still am. I always said I met a lot of wrestlers coming up through the Memphis area when I was hanging out and taking pictures and everything. Met a lot of stars, if you will. And I always said I never get nervous around people like that, stars, movie stars, whatever. It's not a big deal to me because. I had the Undertaker at my house back in the day. He wasn't the Undertaker, but he ended up being. And I was friends with Paul Heyman, Jim Cornette, you name it. But Vince was that guy. I always said if I met him, I think I would be a little intimidated, a little nervous. I don't know now. And I don't think we'll ever see him come back. That is my opinion. I don't think we'll, but we'll continue to talk about him. He influenced the business, especially when I was growing up. And then, I really like I like the WWE without him. Just put it that way.
Yeah, and so do I. But here's my thing. It's we can't take away what he created.
Right.
I'll just say but we'll just say 38 years. 38 years of legacy. And a lot of us, that's our childhood. We watched some of us were able to see the territories go away.
Right.
Because of this man. Good, bad, and indifferent. He still laid a foundation for professional wrestling that probably would have never have seen it the way it is now.
Oh, I agree. 100%. Yeah.
But that bad don't outweigh that bad that he did does not outweigh all the good. And that was real rough.
There, if allegations are true, you can't support someone like that. But I'm all about you gotta put them in court. You got to prove it, and they're innocent until proven guilty. All right, that was number 10. Number 9. Something that surprised me, and it happened, TNA working with WWE, talent crossover, developmental and exposure in NXT and the main roster. We had some stars go to, I don't know if Hendry went to WWE. Was it late the year he signed a contract?
Yeah.
A bunch of, with WWE, with that corporate mindset going toward being number one and always being number one, they, you see, I don't know if it was a threat, but you did see AEW there. So they wanted to grab a hold of somebody to help them out. And TNA was smart. They said, hey, we got wrestling fans. You got wrestling fans. You can't do anything but help us. And that's what, in my opinion, WWE helped them get the exposure and help them get on AMC. What did you see anything that I guess negative? Any negative? I've seen a lot of people saying, "Well, this is not helping TNA," but I always thought it was a big help for them.
Well, yeah, and because we on the former channel I was a part of, we spoke of TNA as the cockroach that won't go away, because that's always,
yeah.
That's how that promotion's always been. That's how we don't mean to view it that way, but I mean, when you're on TV, you're off TV, you're online, we just based it at that. And when W decided to make that deal, I was like, this can't do anything but help them. And exposure was key. I think I seen they're going to put them at Full Sail was going to be the new breeding ground for TNA, and I was like, Full Sail, you got to remember the legacy NXT held there.
Exactly. Yeah. I with there's why? Because there's such a history of one promotion working with another and it not working out, and people taking it personal. Even I did some independent stuff, and I was trying to do an Invasion angle, which is not really what they did. Well, they did Invasion angle, but and people, I don't know, they believed it. Apparently, we got some smart people in the wrestling business that understand that they're, it's not a shoot. They're not taking over the promotion,
right?
And it's been fun to see different people. Trick being, I think he got to the main roster because of the TNA run, and because of what happened with him there. And it's been fun for me as a wrestling fan, just a fan. That's all I want to look at it as. In TNA, not knowing who was going to show up or what was going to go on. So I've liked it so far.
Oh yeah, and for me, and it's like I watched TNA forever, even during the Dixie Carter days.
Well, I watched it during what I call the EC3 days. When I've always tried to support TNA, and I never understood why people wanted it to end. They always do. Same thing with AEW. I've heard, WWE fans say, I wish they just, belly up. Why? This gives the guys somewhere to work and gives them, they can make money. So I never wanted TNA to end. I'm excited about 2026 and seeing AJ Styles, the TNA legend, do some matches there, and it should be fun to see what he ends up doing.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to number 8. Surprise! Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Real quick, Mrs. Z actually did bring that up too, and she was like, "Well, it's because AJ's going to retire," and she was like, "What is he going to do?" I was like, "As much as we see on TV." I was like, in my honest opinion, I would love to see him go to TNA and finish it out.
That would be, I thought about that as we were sitting here talking about it, because I mentioned it on the Shiznit Minute this week that, it looks like he's going to lose at Royal Rumble. What will they do with him? And it just popped in my mind as we were talking. He's probably going to do a last run at TNA. I hope so anyway. All right, number 8. This surprised me. WWE's wanted to get into the Mexican market, or foreign markets. WWE buys AAA, which surprised me as in buying. I could see them working, but they actually acquired AAA. WWE has turned into the NFL in the sense that they feel that their fan base has pretty much reached the level it can reach in the United States. So we must go out of the country to get more fans. And hey, what's a better way? They're doing it the old WWE way, either taking the best talent out of the areas or acquiring it. And that's what they did. We had some fun stuff with Rey Mysterio returning. Dominic was there getting bigger of a cheer at first than we thought he would ever do it. He's a heel, but that Mysterio name means a lot in Mexico. So you look at, and it should be fun to see all the stuff that they end up doing. They got a contract with Fox over there in Mexico now, and it's only going to help. And I've heard people talk about, well, they've made the Mexican style, the WWE Mexican style now. Well, guess what? The Mexican style has always been a hybrid of something. It's not going to hurt them to move it up and change it just a little bit and make these guys real stars. You can buy their gimmicks and everything on WWE Shop now, and the guys are making more money than they've ever made. So, what was your thoughts when WWE took? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
My question is, have you bought yourself a Grande Americano mask yet?
Now, I should have said that. That's one hell of a story too. He's over like Rover.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I've heard all kinds of things about, well, he's just in a stupid gimmick. Listen to the crowd, folks.
Thank you.
Listen to the crowd. And the guy speaks perfect Spanish, by the way.
Yes, he does.
What was your thoughts when you were told WWE's gonna buy AAA?
I was very excited because I know a lot of the guys from out here in the West Coast who work with AAA, who go down to Mexico and work.
Oh, yeah.
I'll name drop my boy El Chupacabra, the Mexican werewolf. He was out there. Super Beast, he was out there. Money Mike Rain, he was out there. The California Black Sheep, as we call him. A lot of these guys have been out there, and just I looked at it as more exposure, not just for the Mexican talent, which obviously Conan has been putting it over on the shows. Like, this is a great opportunity, but you're giving the American audience a chance to watch Lucha Libre at its purest if they haven't seen it already.
I was really excited to be able to tune in and watch it. I don't have to search for it. I don't have to look on YouTube. I don't have to, I like the Americanized version. I like to be able to listen commentary just like I do New Japan. I grew up with New Japan, and I didn't understand a word they were saying except introducing the wrestlers.
Yep.
Choshu Ricky. But other than that, I love the idea of it being available. Also, as a fan, I love the idea of having that. If it's something else I want to watch, if I don't want to, if I quit watching WWE, if I quit watching AEW, I got AAA. I can start watching again, go through all the catalog and everything. All right, number 7, and I put this on here because I felt like it's something that I think the new fans didn't really understand what was going on as AEW and WWE did counter programming against each other. Hey, I'm going to put a pay-per-view on today, just for example. I'm AEW. WWE says, okay, we'll put a free show on. See, this has been happening since the dawn of time, especially during the Monday Night Wars, especially during Vince and WCW head-to-head free shows. The Clash was a free show. Everything. This has been happening all the time, and it's the same old story. It's business, if you will.
There you go.
It is Pepsi versus Coke. You see, I mean, it's Domino's against Pizza Inn, Pizza Hut. It's McDonald's against Burger King. You are those Verizon and AT&T commercials. You're going to go against your competitor. I have no problem with it. Does this bother you that they get in social media and they try to go, they try to outdo each other and everything and book shows? Also with the social media, there's my show rated better. My attendance is better. Does any of this stuff bother you? It doesn't bother me.
No, and it makes for great competition. And this, I've stated this, and we've stated this before we stopped watching AEW on a regular basis. Competition breeds greatness. I mean, look at the Attitude Era, and it's the prime example we've got. It's a matter of we're going through this lull. Another company's doing better, so what can we do to better ourselves? And the best thing that can come out of it is the wrestling fans win.
I think we win. We win big time because the idea is, we're going to get two big shows on the same day. We may not be able to watch them the same day, but we can watch them the next day, and we have the choice. Hey, I'm not going to watch AEW, which I've done the same thing as you've done. A lot of fans have. Look at the numbers, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But it is one of those things where it gives you the choice. And competition helps everything. It really,
Yes.
really does.
Yes,
It helps
it
the
does.
business very much so.
Yeah.
All right, number 6. This is one of my big guilty pleasures here. Made a lot of made a lot of news, a lot of social media, a lot of clicks. As AJ Lee returned to wrestling. It was one of those things, Mr. Z, even with Punk coming back, I really thought, she's never going to come back. She's really not. It's a hell froze over kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was not watching WWE on a regular basis. I was just watching pay-per-view matches, not a huge women's wrestling fan. But I really liked AJ, the stuff I had seen with her. And somebody asked, we was on the USWA podcast, and they said, well, did you think it was a big deal? And I said, it felt so huge.
Yeah.
It really did. I got goosebumps, and I was really surprised that I did, but I think it was just because you could tell how excited Punk was to have her back. And how the fans, that music starts playing, and the fans just went completely nuts. Was you an AJ Lee fan, and what did you think about the comeback?
Oh, I was a huge AJ Lee fan. I mean, and it was a lot like the unicorn that won't come back. I mean, we thought for a long time Punk was never going to step foot, and look what happened. Same thing with AJ Lee. Everyone was like, she's okay because she was working with working with women's wrestling. That promotion, training them, getting them ready. She's been doing a lot of training at home. But when we seen her and she came back, the music hit, we popped. Mrs. Z was very excited. And just the shape she was in, I was like, damn.
That's what I was thinking to say. Fantastic shape after all this time. She looked just as good as the day she left, or better. So
yeah. And then it was a feel good moment. It was like, okay, we have a couple here who's running things. Why not bring the man's wife to counteract his wife?
I remember being at Starcast and Lance and I sitting there talking about if Punk showed up. That was our idea. I said, if his music starts playing, they're going to lose their shit. That's what I kept saying. They're going to lose. That's what happened. Everybody lost their shit when AJ Lee came back, and it was really. I loved it. Like you said, feel good moment. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, it will be halftime.
Don't miss Memphis Wrestling Live, Sunday, February 15th. Who will win King Cobra's Cup? Monday, February 16th, WWE Raw returns to FedEx Forum in Memphis. Pre-game with us at Ghost River on Beale Street. No cover and family friendly. And be on the lookout for Sunday, March 1st, live at the Wrestle Center. All tickets are on sale now. Get yours right now at memphiswrestling.tv.
Get ready, wrestling fans. MCW is bringing you the action like never before. Experience the high-flying moves, the bone-crushing slams, and the rivals that can only be settled inside the square ring. This is family-friendly live professional wrestling at its very best. Don't just hear about it. Be there when the superstars of MCW collide in unforgettable matches you'll talk about for weeks. Tickets are affordable. The action's nonstop, and the excitement is guaranteed. MCW Wrestling, where the future of wrestling happens now. Be there. At least I get you to dance with me, Z. We are in halftime.
I really need to get my Outrunners headband next time for that.
There you go. This is Friday morning, and I thought it would be the perfect time because last Friday we had SmackDown. It was in the UK. We had on foreign soil, as if you will, and I just wanted. Cody was booed. Now I understand why he was booed. You know, we got a new champion, Drew McIntyre, Galloway. I still call him Galloway.
Yep.
We got a new champion, Drew. I understand, but you know he was being booed in AEW, and I think the reason he was being booed in AEW was different than this reason, but it's because people knew he was part of the office and with his wife there and everything. It felt like he really was elite. No one likes her, unfortunately. But
let me get this straight. Nicest person ever. Real sweet lady, but TV wise, we don't like you.
I've seen her at as I talked about, we were at StarCast. She was super nice to all the fans, people around. She didn't have a bunch of people around her when she was walking around. I think she's a beautiful lady, but I do not like her character on television. She maybe did one good promo against Jade. Everything else was just But can Cody? My main thing is tonight on SmackDown, are we going to see Cody booed? And my question to you, Mr. Z, is: can Cody be a heel in WWE now?
I'm hoping. We all know the Cody I'm hoping for. My listeners obviously tune into this as well, and we've all talked about it. We want Bullet Club Cody. We want the Cody that was rocking his dad's fur coat, smoking cigars. That's the Cody we want. I want the Cody that went toe to toe with Joey Ryan at the Cow Palace. That's the Cody I want to see.
Wow. I didn't think about that. He's one of those guys, the same thing. We're going to talk about Cena. Surprise, he's in the top 5. But he was one of those guys I never wanted to see heel. I don't want to see Cody heel again, but let me say this. Rule is if you're a great babyface, they are going to hate you as a heel, and you can be a fantastic heel. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting when they take their number one babyface. They may not do it this year, but they might. They take their number one white meat babyface and turn him into a heel. And you know what? Those fur coats and those cigars and riding that bus instead of on the plane with everybody else or in the rental cars and all that kind of stuff. Man, you might have the best idea ever to turn him. And you know what, Z, I'm bringing Brandy back too. I'm bringing Brandy as part of the package because no one likes her.
Exactly. and you know, and it worked great. And when I watched him during the Civil War era, is what we called it for Bullet Club. It worked so beautifully. And then when DDP gave him that fur coat, that's all it was.
I did not expect that response, and I love the idea. I love that. Maybe I'm ready for the Cody heel, guys. Mm-hmm. Stick around. This is Friday, so Friday tonight, SmackDown. We'll see if we got any.
Real quick, one more thing since we're at halftime. Friday night. Later tonight, if you are in the Bay Area, you do not want to miss Big Time Wrestling. Chris Bay will be there signing autographs, meet greet fans. You'll see my big self there as well with my giant Bullet Club flag, because that's the goal.
Right on. If you go to the show, please reach out to Mr. Z and tell him you heard it right here on the Countdown Wrestling Podcast. We used to call it something different, so I have a hard time with it. And then also just make a note there. This is Friday, so do us a favor and go to Osceola, Arkansas if you're in my area. Every Friday night, MCW have been there for a long time, and I know you don't know this, but it was started by Moondog Spot. That's how long it's been there. So by the way, that was that time. right, we're going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the Countdown Wrestling Podcast, top 10 stories of 2025. And I mentioned this at the very beginning, the 9th version. Gosh, we've been doing this forever. I wrote this as number 5, Divisions Formed and Rules Wrestling. That's kind of, you had sent me a list and you had a bunch of this stuff on this. And I was like, wait, we need to condense this, put this together. But you're so right. Paul Heyman, a lot of stuff going on with Heyman this year. He had a debt he owed to CM Punk. He ended up turning against Punk and Roman Reigns. And then, he had Seth Rollins there with him. Then he turned against Seth Rollins, and now we have the Vision, who is Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and who am I? Oh, Braun Breaker. So he has Paul Heyman puts his hands on something. It's almost, it's going to work. Just put it that way. And I mentioned earlier, I've known Paul for a long time, and he was always thinking wrestling. It was all about wrestling. And that's the way it feels. It feels like to me, sometimes he comes off as the old school grimy wrestling promoter that everyone said he was with ECW. That's that character right there, the Oracle.
Yes.
The character. So what, I know you like these guys. You like the heel group. What was your thoughts on all the, the turn, the not the turn? Let's get rid of Seth Rollins. And were you surprised or happy when Austin Theory came out?
Well, the turn on Punk and Roman was, I kind of felt like it was going to happen. I just didn't think it was going to happen on such a big stage, especially Punk's first WrestleMania main event.
Right.
It shocked the world as that was what W likes to do. Heyman, anytime Heyman meets up, takes control, but he's partnering up with somebody, it's going to work. It's going to make money. At the end of the day, it's all dollar signs. And the Oracle now reminds me of not just the ECW Heyman, but a mixture with the Paulie Dangerously from WCW.
The Dangerous Lunch. Yeah, I can see that.
That's exactly what this is now, because he's got young guys that are hungry, looking to take over, and it works.
And what I think is so smart is that whether it was he really had it down already, but he knew Roman was going to be taking time off and he was only going to be available for so many dates a year. And he kind of backed off and become part of something else. I thought it was very, very smart. Big fan of Paul and this group. Big fan of Austin Theory. I seen Austin Theory do indie work when he was in Evolve. I really thought he could be a huge star. He got a bad rep for some reason on the internet. People didn't like him. I don't get it. I really don't
either.
The smart fans, and I'm not talking about the regular fans. I'm talking about the internet wrestling community seemed to shit on him too much. And I was like, this guy's a stud. I mean, if I had his looks and 10% of his talent, I would have been a freaking star in the wrestling business. So I'm excited to see what they eventually do with him, when it comes to titles and things like that.
Can we give a little bit of flowers to Logan Paul as well? I mean, as much hate as this guy has everywhere.
I told the wife yesterday, I told the wife yesterday, I was talking about Wolf in New Japan, and I had seen his match, the stuff that he recently did, not the stuff that we reviewed. And I told her I was in total shock at how a guy from judo he's a wrestler. He doesn't look like he's in his second, third match, whatever it is, his second match, I believe it was. Same thing with Logan Paul. His first match till now, he's a full-time wrestler now. Yeah. And he does a podcast, like him or not like him. He's done a lot of, shady shit. But good God, he's a natural. And he is so, so good. Like you said, That you got people that come into wrestling business with a little tweaking, and they are naturals, and they know exactly what's going on, and they can put shit together. And if you just judge him by his matches, nothing else, in his interview, not the stuff that goes on outside of the business, he's a star, man.
Yeah.
He can be in this business as long as he wants to be.
Yeah.
All right, we got 4, 3, 2, 1 ready. Number 4, and like I said, we're going to discuss this, but me and you, huge wrestling fans, probably when it comes to watching wrestling, we're kind of not ordinary. Not, I don't know, fanatics maybe. I say sometimes that other fandoms I see, like Star Wars, that I like a lot, Marvel, huge, Incredible Hulk fan, Fantastic Four. I've always been that fan that goes up to right at the edge of those fandoms. When I went to Wizard World and went to the cons, I'd see all these people dressed up and everything, and I'd say, well, I'm not going to do that, but I'm right here. I'm over. I do a podcast. I'm 59 years old. I do a podcast on wrestling. We're going, this is we've already done it for 8 years. We're in our 9th year. So I am that fan. And where am I leading this to? Oh, me and you have kind of just quit watching AEW on a weekly basis. And I've talked about this on all my shows, but we started with a show called Dynamite. I didn't know if they were going to call it Dynamite. I heard a rumor, but I want to do the old Jimmy Walker. If they didn't call it Dynamite, I was still going to call it Dynamite. Wednesday night Dynamite, and we reviewed the first 10, 12 shows, came back, did some of them pay-per-views. But there was always that underlining thing that I said, this style cannot continue to draw 1 million people.
No.
There's people coming to see this, and they look at it, and they don't know any of the people. And what the people they do know, unfortunately, they see people like Sting, and they say, well, that's that old wrestler. I'm a huge Sting fan. I thought he did a fantastic job in AEW. But that's what they were saying. And I don't like to be right. I'm just saying the ratings have went down, and with this new thing they're calling Big Data Plus panel, which apparently is there's more people that they sample on this. The ratings have went down. The attendance has went down. They cannot draw big numbers unless it's their WrestleMania. The only thing that has not been hurt, and me and Jeans talked about this, we really didn't even have, unless it's just the hardcores coming back to watch the pay-per-views, is the pay-per-views continue to draw good numbers. But AEW had a hard time, and they're, Tony Khan's typical wrestling promoter doesn't own up to, you hear him talking. We've covered it on WTF where he says, oh, we're doing fine. We're having one of the best, he said, one of the best years yet.
My favorite real quick, my favorite one, I've heard it twice live. You can watch us here and here like Time Cop. That will forever be my favorite line.
Well, it hadn't been good for them. And they have these people that say, well, this new way of doing ratings. The weird thing is, it seems like, wrestling might be one of the very few things that hurts. And it might have been, because hockey is getting bigger numbers. And so this is a demographic or a number that you use more of a sample. All right. So me and you like Burger King. So we say Burger King's number one. That's it. That's the whole sample right there. So Burger King becomes the number one restaurant, fast food hamburger in the world because we said it. Same thing with Nielsen ratings. It's always been that way. It's a sample. It's a small sample. It's turned in. Now we got, for example, 100 people. Then you got 100. We got me and you like Burger King, but everybody else, well, you got people like in McDonald's. You got people like in Five Guys. You got people like in this. But you got a bigger sample. When you got a bigger sample of something, you can predict or give a better rating of where they belong. And I believe in this. What I believe is the AEW is going to have a core audience. And I said by WrestleMania 2025, we would be below 500. I was wrong. We did go below 500 a couple of times. And it's an average of 500 and something thousand. Is there anybody, this is my question about AEW. Is there anybody they could get, Z, that would change the direction, would make them go up again?
Cody.
That's the only name. Now Cena came to mind because I've seen I know he won't, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I've seen the influence of Cena through the years. My local here in Jonesboro, Arkansas, we had a show. Maybe there was 1,200 people. The next time Cena was on the show, there was 5,000. He drew numbers and he could move, the needle. There's nobody in the business that can move the needle. The style they have not tried to change the style a bit. And there's so many people in that organization outside of the organization says, well, you can't emulate WWE. You have to have your own style. The style you were doing, you got half the crowd, half the people you had when you first started watching it, because they're tired of seeing, pile drivers on the steps, screwdrivers in the ear. Poor Darby Allin, a huge fan, but he tries to kill himself. It has to change. There has to be something and they've maybe had one really super with the stuff with Strickland and Hangman Page. That was a great storyline.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm a huge MJF fan, but with him getting hurt and him leaving, him coming back, he don't even mean anything anymore. I look at the AEW roster and think to myself, who can they grab and take to WWE?
Yeah.
We had a show out this past Saturday on the Patreon only. We talked about Ospreay. We talked about Kyle Fletcher, those two guys, and their future in the business. Our future was not AEW. It was always taking them to WWE. I spoke with a group of young guys in Memphis Wrestling 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, maybe 4. But I said, okay, guys, where do you want to go? And X amount of them said AEW, and X amount said WWE. I can bet you if I talk to the same guys, the same group of guys, none of them are going to be picking AEW. Or AEW is their stepping stone to go to the WWE. Just my opinion, but that's what I think. What's your thoughts? You said that Cody comes back. Don't know if it would move the needle. It would some. But is there anything a big change that you would say that they could do? By the way, let me just also say the Death Riders, horrible storyline, but they did keep it going because there was just so much crap going on in it. And unfortunately, Moxley's one of those guys. Reminds me of Kevin Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan came up with all these ideas and did all this stuff. But they tell me 1 out of 10 of his ideas were good. And that's with Moxley. Hey, I'm going to put a screwdriver in someone's ear. Nah, let's don't do that, buddy. There's nobody backstage that says, let's don't do that.
Well, that's like, remember, was it Hangman? I'm gonna put a hypodermic needle in someone's mouth.
Right. That sounds good. I had a show one time, and was doing a hardcore match. When I was promoting, the 2 guys that work in the match came up to me and if you're not watching the video, let me tell you, it was like 4 inches, 5 inches, maybe 6 inches of glass. And it was a glass, I don't know where the fuck they got it, but their idea was they were going through it. And I said, you're not going to do that. And they said, yeah. And I said, you're not going to do that. I had 2 other guys go get it, put it in their car, and drive it to their house and had somebody come get them, because there has to be that checks and balances. I'm big on checks. I've always been big on checks and balances. And really that's
That's like the last couple of fans bring weapons matches I've seen at local shows. Yes. And the fans are very creative. I love it. I love the creativity. But there was some of them where we check it at the door and we're like, okay, you know, they go to the table. That's where you put them. You know, we'll tell you to go grab them before the match starts. After they put everything on the table, I've watched wrestlers and handlers go over there and grab weapons that they're like, no, absolutely
not.
Right.
Yeah, we're not going to do this kind of thing. All right, that was number 4. Number 3, big deal for me watching WWE officially started the Netflix era. Big, huge money deal. I don't want to ever see any of that money, so I didn't even look up the number. It kind of changed the way the production, the presentation of the, or just the feel of Raw changed from episode 1 on Netflix. I love it because I'm a subscriber, have been a Netflix subscriber for many, many years. My family, kayfabe, but they share the login, so I never can get rid of it because they're going to kill me if I do. Huge deal. Number 3 on our list. Did it change your watching habit? That's one of the things because, you know, it doesn't matter now what the ratings are, really. If anybody, I mean, it doesn't matter how many people was watching that show because you got 10-year contract, you got it on Netflix. And I heard Adam Sandler talking about Netflix, and this is when I knew this would be a great deal for WWE. He said one of those movies that he put out, one of the first ones he put on Netflix, and why he signed a contract with Netflix is that more people saw that movie than all of his movies combined had seen at the theaters. In like 6 months, they killed all his numbers. So when I heard him say that, I want to be on that. All these podcasts are on Netflix now, started in 2026. Kill Tony was in 2020, in this 2025. Get on Netflix. More people are watching Netflix than anything. Did it change did you find yourself going to watch Raw more often? Maybe that's the question I was going to ask.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. And we talk about you having Netflix forever. Folks, I used to have it when I was getting DVDs in the mail. But
yes.
But it's just no, you know, it made me excited to watch it again. Because
I love the look. I love the ring, the colors, the whole 9 yards, and I like being able to I don't watch it live. I never watched wrestling live for a long time. I've told this story that, you know, pay-per-views, I'd got tapes. I would either TiVo it or I would record it on my VHS. I just I don't watch a lot of shows live. I think the only one in 2025, and it was one of the SmackDowns with The Rock. I watched it live, but I just, something I don't do. I like going, no commercials. 2 days after or a day and a half, I fast forward everything I don't want to watch. Love the presentation, and they released the pay-per-view numbers today. And oh my God, take a look at that, guys. Yesterday. They released them yesterday. I'm not going to go over the pay-per-view numbers because we're talking about 2025. I guess we could and tell, but yeah, it did. It helped them. It really, to me, put WWE, even though they were number 1, it put them that much further number 1. I mean, you know, it's like, we're only 2 horses ahead, but no, you're like 100 horses behind everybody. Netflix is,
Yes.
I have friends tell me, man, did you see WWE Netflix? They haven't watched wrestling in years. They seen it was on Netflix. All right, that was number 3. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I have people telling me that they go now that the full pay-per-view library is on Netflix. Some people that didn't have Peacock or rarely watch the network. I mean, heck, I was sharing my network with like 5 other friends.
Right.
But they're just like, man, I went back and watched this pay-per-view. I haven't seen it in years, and damn, was it so good. I'm
crazy.
like, oh,
it's crazy.
It's like you're going back with a different vision. And I was like, all right.
It Netflix, is. I mean, like I said,
one.
to me, made them number 1, big time number 1. Like, hey, everybody else is such a big, a distance. Number 2, and I say this, and a lot of people say, well, the CMLL, it doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. I've had people say this is not a big deal. This is CMLL's record attendance for 2022, no matter what promotion, what country, it's a big fucking deal.
Yes.
They drew, get this, 72. It was the 72nd anniversary. 72nd anniversary in 2000. One of the biggest attendance was the 72nd anniversary in 2005 with 18,500 people. They are drawing that every week now at Arena Mexico, regularly hosting crowds of 14 to 16,000. Over 1 million people showed up to Arena Mexico or to CML, not just Arena Mexico. They have other shows. Man, it's just the idea that it got hot. Now, let's be honest that it's not all a wrestling crowd, but guess what? It doesn't matter. It's a tourist crowd of people coming over there, and they just got behind them, the tourist people did, and they booked people in there. If you look at the cost of tickets, it's almost triple or quadruple what it used to be, which surprised me more than anything. It's one of those places, Mr. Z, that I have on my wrestling bucket list. I want to go to Arena Mexico. I want to go to and be there and buy the mask and hear that stupid effing horn.
Yeah.
But yeah, big deal, man. A big deal that you can draw after all these years. You can still draw a crowd. What was your thoughts on CMLL?
And I'm a big. I gotta say, I'm always a big fan of Lucha Libre. I always have been. I grew up watching it. I mean, I remember sitting on the couch watching the midget matches that would happen, all the time too. And mind you, I'm 6-7 years old, so yeah, I'm more entertained by the midget matches than I am by the other stuff that's going on.
But the minis were so good too. The minis were so good.
Yes, and
yes, they were, and it was different. It was such a big different style, and it was something that, and we even talked about this being a hybrid of wrestling. It was not hybrid. It was a hybrid to us because we weren't familiar with the style. It is a style that hasn't changed a lot in all of these years. It has not changed a lot. But something changed. There's still people going. There's all kinds of people going to these matches. All I could say is big thumbs up to CMLL. I'm glad a promotion has lasted this long and is being able to draw those numbers. So that was our number 2. And I mentioned this, Mr. Z. Everybody's got to know what our number 1 story is, our number 1 person of the year, and it's the John Cena, the whole story of the heel turn, the retirement tour, layers and layers of stuff going on, whether you like the heel turn, not like the heel turn. The end result is I'm wearing my John Cena shirt today. Said never give up. Guess what, guys? Yes. He did give up.
Yeah.
Lost clean in the ring, and I heard so many talk about that the guy that stays with the promotion wins. That's the way this works. It always has, and it worked this way.
Yeah.
I love the heel turn, but they messed it up. There was everybody that was supposed to be part of it didn't show up.
Exactly.
What did they have to do? The retirement tour was a huge success. I've heard people say WWE wouldn't have had the year that they had if it wouldn't have been for the retirement tour. I don't know. I think they would have had a huge year. But so we haven't talked about this. What was your thoughts on the heel turn?
It was needed. It almost, Derek, I have to say it almost felt like when Hogan went heel.
I thought it was as big of a turn as Hogan.
It shocked the world. Yeah.
Yes. I couldn't believe it. I was in total shock when he changed his face and did the whole thing. I was disappointed in what they did with it, as all fans were. But then I wasn't disappointed in the retirement tour. It was always fun to see the different colored shirts.
Yes.
I like some of my favorite matches, him and AJ. And then the final match was with Gunther. I have said on one of the other podcasts that this was a match that young guys need to watch.
Yes.
Because they did that little is more thing in the sense, in the stuff that they did in between the moves. Just a fantastic match, exactly the way it should have ended. I don't know if I would have told him he could smile at the end. But other than that, and to me, it had to be number one.
Yeah, no, I was at the beginning of that tour. It was in Sacramento. It was at a SmackDown, and that's when he came. That was like a couple weeks after he came back to announce his tour. His first match was a dark match. We got to see him and Dominic. And let me tell you, this is, obviously this is around, Dominic's hated in America, but he's loved in Mexico. But he just made Dominic look so good.
A star. He made he made Dominic look like a star, even though we all know Dom is really good. But he did make him look like a star. And I don't know, man. Cena's one of those guys that everyone seemed to hate him for the longest. I hate to admit it. I'm not hating to admit it. I'll admit it. I love Cena. I always was a Cena fan. There's all kinds of reasons why, but he was in OVW. One of my friends, Derek King, helped train him. Said he was a really super nice guy. And this was before he started doing Make-A-Wish. I was told by Derek and the guys that ran with him when in the area that when he came to town, to these towns, he would rent a big SUV and he would fill it up with toys and he would go to the hospitals and give them to the kids. This is on his dime.
Yeah.
He paid for the toys.
Wow.
And I don't know how many people know that, but that was the story I was told. I said to myself, this guy is a super nice guy. He's going to do stuff. And then, he had record Make-A-Wish Foundation there for a while. I think there's somebody else got his record now, but he had record visits. Those things are done on your own time. And a lot of times it's not a picture. No one's taking pictures. And no one was taking pictures when John Cena was doing that on his own. So that was one of the reasons I was a fan. I love the rap thing. And I become a huge fan. First match with Kurt Angle. I was, I love this guy. Because I was a huge Kurt Angle fan. So, but always a Cena fan. And I hate it that we may see him in a wrestling angle, but we're never going to see him wrestling again.
No.
That's our loss as fans. But I get to watch him in all those, I say horrible movies, but I have a fun time with him in those movies. Go to Prime Video and search John Cena. He's got like 6 or 7, and I love those movies. But I always liked B movies as a kid. So, all right, guys, we're wrapping it up. That was the top 10, 9th annual top 10 stories. I was joined by my buddy, Mr. Z. Mr. Z, we'll see you probably in a few weeks. We might try to do something about it. I'll join you with New Japan and do something with that. because I'm interested in the New Japan stuff happening in 2026, which surprises me. Maybe it'll be my alternative to the WWE and some other promotions. Same bad time, same bad channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Join us. We're going to talk about Patreon. We're going to talk about we're going to give away 4 awards. Each one of us is. You got to subscribe or you won't get that. So as soon as this goes off, go subscribe and listen to us. Where was I at? So be there. Same bad channel. Best little wrestling. Be there. And as everyone knows, and Mr. Z knows this, I love